Okay, let me just get this all set up. Thank you so much for joining me right here for episode 3 of the Power Hour. And today we're talking about unlocking the hidden power of your energy, mastering vibrational alignment. It's kind of cool. But what does that even mean? It means learning how to use your energy to create the life you want. Most people don't really. Ugh, tongue tied already. Most people don't realize it, but your thoughts, emotions, and even the people around you all affect your energy. If you feel drained, stuck, or negative, your energy is out of alignment. But when you raise your energy and focus on the right things, life starts flowing in your favor. Has anybody noticed that? Okay. Did I even introduce myself? I apologize. I am Minister Robinson, Church of Real Talk. I actually run Church of Real Talk coaching. Um, but what we're going to do today is we're going to break this down step by step. I have my notes right here, and let me just move it up just a little bit. So what is energy? Okay. And guys, feel free to jump in the comments at any point. Any point. Jump in the comments. Let me know what you're feeling. Okay. Everything is made of energy, even your thoughts, emotions, and actions. They all send out energy like a radio signal. Whatever you focus on the most, you attract more of it. And I talk often about this. Uh, what you focus on is what you actually attract in your life. Again, I tend to think of it as simple science or simple mathematics. If your thoughts are always focused on something, just think about those days that you wake up and you trip or you bump into something and you hurt yourself, that ow feeling. If you focus on that, the fact that your day started out with you having a boo-boo or you bumping into something or you stubbing your toe, you're going to find that more and more of those inconveniences are going to come your way because that's all you're focused on. Our reality is created within ourselves. How we view reality, how we see reality, how we understand reality is basically all done up here. And I hate when it does that. It just, the green screen makes it just like blank out. But we can change that, you know if you want a better life, you have to change your energy. Okay. You'll find that in these sessions that I call the power hours, that we actually talk a lot about the mind. The reason that we do that is because the mind really does control everything. Just think about it. Okay. Let's say, and I think there's a couple of speakers that have actually talked about this. Let's say you wake up in the morning and you sit down and you just pick a color and you just focus really, really hard on that color. In my case, red. That's my nickname. Okay. So let's say I wake up in the morning and I focus on the color red. I just take a few minutes and I just focus on, hey, red is a beautiful color. I love red. I just can't get enough of the color red. You will soon find that out the blue, since that's what you're focused on, you'll see more and more things that actually have the color red. And a lot of people say, oh, it's coincidence. No, it's you shaping your reality. It's you harnessing or tapping into your energy. Um, no, Dr. Wayne Dwyer once said, you don't get what you want, you get what you are. I have found this out so often in my life. I really have. Have we? And I want you to put this in the comments, okay? Have you ever just woke up and due to all the situations that have happened the day before, the week before, or even the month before, you just wake up, sit on the edge of the bed, and that's what you focus on? I can't get this bill paid. I can't get this done. This is never going to work for me. That's what you're going to get because you have told your mind to tap into the energy of, I can't do this. On my social media platforms for the last week, and feel free to join them. Um, on my social media platforms last week, the theme I tend to Sundays, I tend to think of a theme, that I can speak to, that can motivate and inspire others. And last week's theme was no more excuses. No more excuses. Because see, when you make excuses, that's that negativity that attaches itself to your vibrational energy. I have made it a super conscious effort through the years to stop saying I can't, to stop saying there's no way in the world, to stop saying that I, I'm not built for this. The reason that you do that, that you have to stop doing that, is because, in a sense, that's what you're focusing on. If you're in college and you're coming up on an exam, or you're coming up on a paper that you have to write. And as soon as you get that assignment, you start telling yourself, I can't do that. I missed 3 classes. There's no way in the world that I can get this done. So you ask, so you shall receive. More than likely, until you decide that you can do it, you're going to get an F on that paper, or 2.0, or whatever, the grading principle your school uses. The reason for that is because energy is all around us. We are part of this huge energy field. And what happens is we give and take. Again, last week we talked about that antenna that attaches itself to a higher power or the universe, or both. We talked about that antenna, and that antenna is constantly pushing out signals to this energy field. Case in point, you can't pull out the plug, it's just going constantly. And if you find yourself in a situation where you are telling yourself that I can't do it, it can't happen, I'm going to fail at this, I'm never going to get this done, you're constantly sending out that signal. And again, you can't pull the plug until you change that mindset, until you change that vibrational energy field. You're going to get what you asked for. No way around it. No way around it. So the world has tried to convince you, and this is from Amaris. Amaris is my mentor. And you know what? I'm going to tell you, past her popping me across my head, she constantly tells me, you can do this. You can do this. The Power Hour series, I was supposed to actually be doing this last year. I thought it was a way to bring motivation and inspiration to the masses, to help people reach the next level of their existence, to reach higher levels, to reach dizzying levels of their existence. And I wanted to do it. And, I would speak to them. I was like, hey, whatever happened to the Power Hour? Oh, I'm working on it. Why are you still working on it? Oh, I want to make sure I get it right. I sound like a little third grader explaining to my teacher why my homework isn't done, but she was right. She was like, why don't you just do it? See, that is the problem why many of us don't align with the positive energy, because we come up, as I outlined all of last week, we come up with excuses as to why it can't be done. And those excuses could be anything. Oh, I don't know how to work the equipment. Oh my God, I can't write out something that I can speak to people about. And you start telling yourself this story. And this story, all things are energy, transforms itself into energy that is going to be beamed out through that antenna. And that signal is going to reach your higher power, is going to reach the universe. And they're going to say, well, geez, this is what they're focused on. I got some more of that energy. If that's what they really want, look, let me just give it to them. Let me help them out. See, your high power, your universe, whatever you choose to believe in, is not there to make you suffer. We make ourselves suffer. Think about it for 1 second. Put it in the comments if you agree or disagree. We weren't put here to suffer. We weren't put here to constantly grind. We were put here for a purpose, and that purpose usually intertwines with us believing in ourselves, believing in our higher power, believing in the universe. And once we latch onto that, that energy, it just transforms into something greater than what we ever expected. This is how our dreams, our wishes are granted. Yes, it takes action. But once you latch on to the fact that you can accomplish something, once you latch on to the fact that you can do something, taking action doesn't become a problem. The problem usually occurs when you're looking for reasons or excuses as to why not to get started. Those are a dime a dozen. Those cost nothing. You know, have you ever had a day when everything went wrong? And I want you to put this in the comments. I've had those days. I'm not going to blow smoke up your butt. I've had those days until I kind of learned these principles where just nothing works out whatsoever. It's like you go to work and you're supposed to um have your excuse me have your report ready for your supervisor, your manager, or your boss. You go to the computer, you take a couple of extra minutes getting coffee just the way you like it. I do that every day. Hold on one second. Mm. And you come in a couple minutes because you figure you got it done. But see, you stubbed your toe that morning, so you thought today was going to be a crappy day. So you go to the computer, you open up the document, you hit print, and 15 pages of your report is missing. Your boss is waiting for it. In fact, the phone is ringing right now, and you're looking at it saying, "What the heck?" Because you told the universe, you told the higher power that, hey, listen, my day isn't going to go right. It's not going to go right at all. You're on your way home. It gets better. You're on your way home and you're sitting up there and you're taking the same route. You're on autopilot. You're driving home, and you're listening to your favorite song on the radio and it's got you in the mood and you accelerate. And as you accelerate, you go right past a police officer that actually has a radar gun and they pull you over for speeding. But you thought your day was going to be just like horrible today. So you ask, so you shall receive. See, we've got to transmutate that way of thinking into positive energy, into positive vibrational energy, because we all vibrate. We're like that huge tuning fork. There's 8 billion of us on this planet, and we're just literally huge tuning forks. Okay. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to hit that note that resonates with granting us the things that we wish for, the things that we want, our greatest desire. That's what we're trying to do. But you keep on hitting the tuning fork on the table and it's coming out with the wrong pitch. The reason why it's hitting that wrong pitch is because you're not aligning your vibrations with positivity. You're not aligning it with positivity. So let's move forward a little bit. What do you think is blocking your energy right now? This is some real talk right here. What do you think is blocking your energy? Because just like a clogged pipe stops water from flowing, negative emotions, limiting beliefs, and toxic environments block your energy. Let me break that down for a second. Okay. So let's start with the negative emotions. Okay. Negative emotions is when you find yourself in situations where you're always in this fight or flight mode. Okay. It's just constant chaos around you. You're just like, you're saying chaos has to create its own order, but it's just not working for you. Okay. And that is clogging the pipe that leads to the antenna to the universe. You know, limiting beliefs. We just talked about that. Believing that you can't do anything. One thing that my grandparents always told me from like the age of like 4, okay? Whenever I was having a problem with something, whenever they gave me a new toy and I couldn't figure out how to put it together, all of the things that little 4-year-olds go through, you know, my grandparents would just watch me. Sometimes they sit on the couch and watch me suffer and struggle through it. And then when they got tired of me actually saying I can't do it, one of them would jump in and be like, Butchie, you can do whatever you want to do as long as you put your mind to it. I think one day I was working on like one of those Revel model kits. I don't know if you guys remember those. I'm dating myself, I know. But I was working on it and I just couldn't get it to the piece to work, to actually go into it was like the beginning like set. It was like kind of, snapping, and then glue. And I just couldn't get it to work. And I remember, I can't do this. This doesn't work. This is broken. My grandfather got up, he looked at it. He's like, no, it's not broken. You know. And then finally he said, do you know how many of these things that they make every year? Do you remember when we picked it up off the shelf? How many of them were there? Somebody's got to be doing it. Somebody's got to be putting these things together. I just looked at it. It's not broke. It's because you think that you can't do it. Why don't we sit down together and figure out ways that we can't get it done? And then he opened up the little instruction thing and laid it on the rug next to the thing. He was like, let's try it again. And I got it done. I got it done. But the moral to the story that they taught me was stop with the limiting beliefs. My grandparents were firm believers that, hey, listen, you can teach yourself anything as long as you're willing to put in the work, sit down, and get the damn thing done. Okay, you don't need to go. I'm not telling people not to go to college. I don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to tell you that. But there are some of us, there are many of us that actually can go through life without hitting a college campus. They do it the old school way. They go to the library. They go online in this day and age. They look up information. They find mentors. They find people that have actually been embedded into this thing that you're trying to learn, and they speak to them. They converse with them, you know. And if you read, let me just put it this way. If you're trying to learn something and you took one, instead of saying, I can't do it, there's no way in the world I can do this. If you took an hour each day out of the whole year, 365 days, okay, and you actually read, researched, and sat down and learned about this thing that you're trying to master, within that year, more than likely, you'd probably be really, really good at it, if not a professional at it. 1 hour per day out of 24 hours. Again, you're the antenna. The antenna is sending out all of these signals, all of this energy out to the universe and your higher power. And you're saying to it, hey, listen, after I get off of work, I'm tired. I want to sit down and watch my favorite sitcom. I want to sit down and do this. I want to play video games. That's what I want to do because I need to unwind. What if instead you said, hey, you know what? When I get home, I'm going to spend an hour just reading through this stuff, trying to learn this stuff so that I can master this because this guy, Minister Robinson, he said, 365 hours would make me damn near professional at this. So, hey, listen, what's an hour a day? You know, Toxic environments. Oh, that is the doozy right there. We find ourselves often in toxic environments, sometimes in our own homes. Ooh. It could be the workplace, it could be school. And there's lots of things that actually give us or create these toxic environments besides our minds because if we expect that the environment that we're going to be in is going to be toxic, guess what? It's going to be freaking toxic. There's no way around it. Don't believe me? Test it. Test it. Go when I was younger as a DJ, and this is when I finally started to adhere to this principle of, what you seek, you'll probably get. As a DJ, we would do clubs, we do college parties, house parties, and sometimes, depending on the area, I'm from New York City, depending on the area, I'd be like, oh, this is going to be a complete ish show. This is going to be a fight. Somebody's going to get shot. This, that, or other. Something bad is going to happen. And those days that I went out, those nights rather, that I went out to DJ and do my thing with my team, the things that I really thought that was going to happen, because the whole time in the van, I'm in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this party. I really don't want to do this party because something is going to jump off and ooh, it's going to be crazy. Those days that I thought that, that's exactly what would happen. I've been at parties where people have been shot. I've been at parties where like big, brawls have broken out, like Marine Corps brawls in the local town pub. I have seen it all. But I think that I created it all because there were days like when we were doing college parties, I'm like, oh, I'm going to have a great time. I'm going to meet people. I'm going to be star of the show. I'm going to have lots of females coming up to me asking me to play records and give me their numbers. I thought it was going to be awesome, and it turned out to be awesome. Might have got an extra tip for doing that party that day. So it's all about what you believe. It's all what you. I mean, let's be honest here. How many times have you found yourself in a sketchy area? I'm going to tell you, when I travel, I don't want to go down the tourist route. I want to go into the inner city urban hubs. I'm from New York, you know. And there have been times through the years that, I expected the worst was going to happen. And sometimes it came really close to that. And I truly, truly believe it's because it's what I thought was going to happen. Put it in the comments. Have you changed the reality beforehand? I don't even think you're psychic. You might be. But I think that what I'm talking about right now has nothing to do with being psychic. It has to do with the energy that you're putting out to the universe, but I'm drifting. I know I do that often. Anywho, so what are some of the common energy drains? Things that drain our energy. Fear and doubt, again, negative self-talk, being around people who constantly complain or bring you down. I gotta stop there. I really need to stop there. That is like the worst thing ever. I hate Debbie and Dan down. I really do. And thank you for the comment. Thank you. Oh, so you do understand how we create our reality. Thank you very much. Thank you. Um, yeah, these Debbie Downers, oh my God, I can't take them. I really can't take them because what happens is they literally drain your energy. Have you ever been around someone that you just ask them, "Hey, how you doing today?" And it's like you just brace yourself. You're like, "Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Problems that I didn't think people ever had. I'm about to be shown." That's an energy drain because usually when you walk away from this person, you feel like you just want to go home and take a nap. That person has drained your energy and they've shifted your vibrational alignment because if you're feeling down, that's going right into that antenna. Remember, you can't unplug it. You can't pick and choose when you unplug that antenna. So you have to find ways to stay away from these people. You honestly, I have been around people that I have just asked a simple question and I just get taken down a rabbit hole and then I just claw myself out. I just be like, wow, check this out. We got to talk about this later. I've really got someplace that I got to be. But you have a great day. See, I know and understand that, hey, this is an energy drainer. I have to keep my vibrational energy high. So I exit stage left as quickly as possible. You know, another thing that I want to talk about, and first before um we move on to the next section, I want you to talk, well, rather, I want you to think about it like this. Imagine you're carrying a heavy backpack full of bricks. Each negative thought or bad habit is another brick. If you want to move faster in life, you need to drop the weight, you know. And Carl Jung actually highlighted this. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. I've used that quote before. I love that quote from Carl Jung. I think that is very, very important. We need to decide what we're feeding into that antenna that is sending out our vibrations out there, our emotional vibrations, you know. Um, What's one thing in your life that feels like an energy drain? You don't have to put it in the comments, but it would be kind of cool if you did put it in the comments. But what is one thing in your life that feels like an energy drain? You know, I have lots of things in my life that feel like an energy drain, but I tend to, like I said, exit stage left. When I feel that my vibrational energy is being drained or siphoned away from me, when I feel that antenna is sending out signals that I really don't want to go to the universe, I just put a freeze on it, you know. The last few weeks, I just want to share with you guys. The last few weeks, I have, you know, decided that I don't want to be part of confrontations that don't serve me, that don't keep my energy high. Because there, believe it or not, there's positive confrontations. That's like when I'm speaking to a Mars, you know, things that's going to uplift me, that's going to, you know, help shift my mindset into a more positive way of thinking. I love those. I love those. But then you have the opposite or the flip side of the coin where we find ourselves in situations where it's just arguing, trying to get people to understand us, trying to prove our point. These are things that really don't amount to anything. And you know, and it took me, you know, a long time. I've been on this planet for a few decades, a lot of decades, but I've been on this planet for quite a lot of decades, and I didn't understand it until recently. You know, it doesn't help you grow. You know, going out of your way to prove that you are right will never help you grow, will never help you reach that next level of your existence. It will never help you become a better person. You know, all you did was essentially, you know, got yourself all worked up. Again, you can't pull out the plug. You can't. I've tried. You can't. You can't put it on pause. The antenna is constantly pushing out your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, your wants, and your desires out there. You know, and I came to realize I was like, you know what? It's not serving anything. It's not helping with my goals. It's not helping me get to the next level. It's not helping me live within my purpose. That's the thing, living within your purpose. That's why it's so important that you keep your energy vibrating very highly. Um, so how to raise your energy and align with what you want. Can I say this again? I know you're sick of hearing it, but I think it's something that we need to say over and over. And I think you need to say it to yourself over and over. Energy flows where attention goes. Plain and simple. Energy flows where attention goes. If you focus on a problem, you will attract more problems. If you focus on solutions, you attract solutions. Plain and simple. You know, let me write that out. Hold on. I'm not going to write it out. But listen, it seem so simple? If you focus on everything that could possibly go wrong, you will get everything that could possibly go wrong. If you focus on everything that could possibly go right, you will get everything that could possibly go right. Again, your subconscious, we talked about that in episode 1. Your subconscious, okay, and this antenna that we talked about in episode 2, okay, and your higher power and or universe, whatever you choose to believe in, is just waiting for your freaking signal. It's waiting to see which way you want to move, which way you want to move forward. And if you focus on Hey, I need more freaking problems in my life. I don't have enough problems. No, I need more. Who wakes up in the morning and says that to themselves? I need more problems. I need more things to make my life a complete ish show. I need more things that are going to make me unhappy. Who would do that? Many of you do. Many of you do this. We focus on the problem. We tend to not focus on the solution. There is a solution to every problem. You know, one of the things that I've said through many motivational speaks, I've even used it for jobs when I was training teams. Okay. The game Pac-Man, okay, believe it or not, you can play it forever. As long as you focus on getting to the next level, escaping those little ghosts. Okay. I think Miss Pac-Man, yeah, Miss Pac-Man, using those bridges at the right time, learning the patterns. You can play that game forever. There's a solution to every problem. But you have to get out of the mindset that there's a problem for every solution. I have been solution orientated, I'm going to say honestly, where it has been mental focus for the last 20 years. You know, I tell this to people as a coach, I tell them, I'm like, well, why do you think this is a problem? You know, how do we fix this problem? How do we get past this problem? See, many of us we've been trained through our life that we need to figure out the freaking problem. This is something that I use often, and if you follow any of my social networks, you've heard me say this before. The problem has presented itself already. We understand what the problem is. Having boardroom meetings and having discussions and circle jerking the problem around is not going to make the problem disappear. Finding solutions to the problem, 9 times out of 10, it will make it disappear. I have this thing. I saw this on TV once, and I laughed my head off. There was, I don't remember the name of the show. Excuse me. If I can come up with it in next week's Power Hour, I will remember. In fact, let me write myself a note. Excuse me. Remember show. So I'll get the name of the show. So there is, it might have been a movie, but there is this imminent meltdown in a nuclear power plant. It's going to happen, right? You know, and I remember that there's all these people in this control room, and they're sitting up there arguing with each other, trying to figure out whose fault it was, who did this, who did that. But yet and still, the nuclear power plant is about to melt down, or whatever nuclear power plants do. It's about to melt the hell down. Well, if you wouldn't have did this, this wouldn't happen. Oh my God, we're all going to die. And I just busted out laughing. I'm like, well, the simplest thing to do is to figure out how to stop this, or to get the heck out of Dodge enough miles away so that the fallout doesn't affect us. Do you find yourself in that situation? Honestly, think about that for a second. Think about the last fire drill that you went through. And I use fire drill as a term meaning a problem. Think of the last fire drill that you went through. Did you spend more time figuring out the solution, or trying to figure out how the problem started? See, once you find the solution, you can always backtrack and assign blame to whoever. Okay. But I'm going to tell you another secret. If you're there in that control room, part of it's your fault anyway. You know, so assigning blame, that's not high vibrational energy. Just be happy that you stopped the nuclear meltdown. Um, with focusing on solutions, you will find that your life will change almost immediately. You'll feel better about yourself. You'll feel better about the things that are happening around you. You won't have this whole negative mindset about going to work or going to school or doing this thing or doing that thing, because You are solution driven. And I can't think of a better way to lead one's life, you know? So let me just put this out here. Imagine this. Think of yourself as a magnet. If you're full of negativity, you attract negative situations. But if you radiate confidence, peace, and gratitude, you pull in amazing opportunity. That last word, gratitude. Very, very important word. Gratitude. To be grateful. I tend to find that when I am in a state of being grateful and having gratitude for whatever thing that I have, whatever thing that I have been able to create, whatever, hell, if I put up a post and people actually comment and like it and share it and it resonates with them, I'm grateful for that because that helps propel my purpose forward. Gratitude is a powerful thing. Remember that antenna doesn't get unplugged. So those feelings of gratitude actually radiate out to the universal high power. And I don't know. I can't speak for the universe or your higher power, but I think it gives them a warm fuzzy. I really do because I think that we are surrounded with so many people in this world that don't have an attitude of gratitude, that are not happy for what they have. They just want more, more, more. They'll just do anything for more, more, more. But they never stop to become grateful. Again, you can't unplug the freaking antenna. Whatever you're feeling is just radiating out and it's attaching itself to the relevant energy field. Okay, so let's let's take a quote from Nikola Tesla. Okay, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. This is what we've been talking about during this power hour: frequency, energy, and vibration. I think that the universe is built on these principles. I think the creator has actually made this the simplest way for not only for them to keep track, but for us to keep track. For us to understand that these are just like skin sacks over a bunch of energy. Yeah, we go on to the next level. Nobody gets to live forever, at least in this form. But have you ever thought where your thoughts go? The energy that you're creating right now, does it go away? Even when you pass on to the next level, you still live on. The levels of greatness that you live on to be is completely up to you of what you do with this life. Think of all the great people that have passed on. Buddha, Jesus, uh, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Muhammad. All of these people have left a lasting impression upon us. Their energy lives on. We speak their names. Their energy lives on. We give them their due props. Their energy lives on. And you, believe it or not, have that same capability. Because your energy lives on, it doesn't go anyplace. We look at this as part of the package of this skin sack. The brain is not part of this. Maybe the biological aspect, but how does your brain work? It's energy. Electrons and neurons just firing all over the place, pulling out that memory in a millisecond, pulling out this, helping me write out this outline. It's all energy. Don't be fooled into thinking that this is not energy, that we don't exist as energy. This skin sack is just so, I guess it's like a state issued ID so that we know what bag of energy that we're talking to. But is it necessary? Sometimes I think it's not necessary because there's some days I wake up and my knees and my hip, they hurt. They hurt. I've said this often. The check engine light hasn't gone off in the last 15 years. It just stays on and there's no mechanic that can fix it. But the energy is real. The energy that we put out there, the energy that we take in, the energy that we are surrounded with is so real. You know, as we learn more about our existence, um, I just read a news article about Willow, this quantum computer. Okay, and it works. They said that, they gave it a math problem that would take the age of the universe for any computer to, or present day computer to figure out, and it figured it out in 5 freaking minutes. 5 minutes. I don't know how they checked it to make sure he could figure it out or he gave us the right answer. But this is quantum computing. And quantum computing is based on, hey, listen, reality is like so interchangeable. And it's just like your energy. Your energy is so interchangeable. Hey, go ahead and follow my accounts because I think this week I'm going to talk a little bit about Willow because I'm excited for what it brings to the table. I know there's going to be some downsides, but as I've said often, we're in this AI world. We're all in now. So we might as well just go ahead and, figure out the best way possible to make it work for us. Okay, so wow. This is crazy. This is freaking crazy. I'm looking at my notes and I just saw something that I wrote down from Amaris. Um, Amaris's insight is you were never meant to vibrate at the frequency of struggle. Realign and watch your world shift. You know, excuse me. Again, I say this often, there are many powers out there that think that struggle is part of, the way that life is supposed to be. It's really not. Trust me, it's not. I don't think any benevolent being would place us here, or the universe would place us here and say, "Hey, let me watch him struggle. Let me watch her struggle." I'm bored and I can get 50 years out of this person struggling, or 60 years, or 70 years. I can watch them struggle, and that will give me something to do. It's like a sitcom for like higher powers. I don't think it happens that way. We were put here to accomplish great things. And it's just based on us following the rules, the principles of, hey, listen, don't be a Debbie Downer. Don't be a Dan Downer. Don't always be negative. Okay? Stop doubting yourself. And all that you desire, I'm going to make sure that you got. And while you're at it, here's the important part. Live in this purpose and help others reach that level. Help others reach that level. That's always, always important. So let me ask you a question. Put it in the comments, but feel free to just use that deep mind searching. What's one thing you can do today to raise your energy? And we've discussed a lot of things. What's one thing you can do today to raise your energy, your vibration? Okay. Now, let's go ahead and step into our power. Let's step into our power like rock stars. Now that you know how powerful your energy is, what will you do with it? Simple question, simple concept. Okay. So, before you go to bed tonight, think of 3 things you're grateful for. I've said this before. Gratitude is so freaking important that it's not funny. But think of 3 things that you're grateful for. This will actually shift your energy instantly. Now, I think in the first one, I said do it in the morning. Now you're going to do it before you go to bed. Okay. So that's going to shift your energy instantly. It trains your brain to focus on what's working, not on what's not working. We can figure out what's not working. It doesn't take any mind thought. Okay. But once you start to pinpoint what's working, not only does it inspire and motivate us, it opens the door for us to focus on just the things that are actually working. Okay. Um, and here's the deal: it attracts more good things into your life. I love it when good things come into my life. It gives me a warm fuzzy. Um, and I want to actually give you this quote. Okay, it's very important. When you realize nothing is lacking, the whole world belongs to you. Isn't that a beautiful thought? Once you come to the realization that, hey, nothing is lacking, the world is yours. And I think that's why you guys come to these power hours. Okay, because deep down inside, you understand that the world is yours. It's your oyster, it's your chestnut, it's whatever thing that has a shell on it that you want to open up. It's yours. You just have to believe it's yours. And you've got to remember that that antenna that we talked about is always plugged up. There's no power outages. There's nothing that can stop it from transmitting your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts, your energy. There's nothing it's going to transmit it. So why not make sure that it transmits all the wonderful things, all your wonderful beliefs, all the things that make you happy, all the things that bring you joy, not the things that make you feel down? The universe doesn't care about that. Well, it does because it's going to give it to you. But it's not its main purpose. The universe, your higher power, wants you to focus on doing great things. That's what the focus should be about. You doing great things. And by you doing great things, you open the door to help others achieve great things. And do you see how that energy works? I'm doing something great. You're doing something great. They're doing something great. They're doing something great. It makes the world a better place. This is like something that I've been harping on since I've actually started my journey on social media. Let's change the freaking world. Seems like I've been here forever, but let's change it for our kids. Let's shift our energy today, now, to help them not have to go through all of the headaches, all of the craziness, all of the chaos that is in this world today. Let's make sure that their world is a better place. Let's instill these things that we're learning at these power hours into our children. Their minds are ripe and open to learning how to transmute their energy into something great, to something positive. I was lucky. Many of you were lucky. I had my grandparents. They took personal joy in like switching like switches in my head and turning off certain switches. They took certain joy, but I'm so happy that they took the time to do that. You have people in your life that have done the same thing for you. It just seems like we've got so embedded into the bump and grind that is the world and our jobs and our careers and our education and trying to get this thing that's going to show that we've made it, that we've given so much of our energy to that instead of gratitude, happiness, joy, love. You start embodying those things, I can guarantee you everything will fit right into place. Share these power hours. I mean, I'm going to tell you that's why I made the price of entry so low because I think the message is important, And here's the reality of it: you can sit around a computer with your friends. You can sit around your phone and just log into the Zoom thing. I really don't care. I really don't care because again, my mindset is based on, hey, let's make the world a better place. If we can just throw away some of the suffering, some of the, I guess, negativity that exists in this world, some of the chaos, the world becomes a better place. And if I can be an instrument, the universe's instrument to make this happen, then hey, I'm grateful for that. I'm really grateful for that. Okay, so here's a quick recap. But I've been on here for a long time. You're probably getting tired of hearing me talk. But here's a quick recap. Okay. Your energy shapes your reality. Your mind shapes your reality. Your mind is energy. Okay. Always remember that. Don't let anybody tell you different. Okay, if somebody tries to tell you different, please tell them to contact me and we will actually discuss in depth. Okay, negative thoughts block your success. It's the truth. Okay, I've gone through stages of ups and downs, and one thing that I have noticed there is a trend. There is a pattern. Whenever I had self doubt, whenever I actually browbeat myself, whenever I thought that I couldn't do it, I couldn't do it. When I believed that I could do it, I did it. Okay, shift your energy and everything changes. Like I said, everything, everything is energy. Everything we are surrounded by energy. Okay. Willow, that quantum computer actually showed and proved that. Believe it or not. Okay. Um, and what else? What else do we got going on? Huh? Well, can I give you a special invitation? I want you guys to come to the next power hour. I want you guys to tell a friend. Um, it's actually put up on the Patreon site. You guys get to see it live, so you get all the boo boos, all the mistakes, all the times I get tongue twisted. Um, it goes on Patreon usually within 24 hours. So consider being a member there. There's other great stuff there too as well. Um, like I said, just have people join. It's not the money that's important, it's the message that's important. Okay. It's just that we live in a world that people place value on what they spend money on. I don't know why. Anywho, and also, I think on all my social media networks, Chosen Ones Walk the Path with Amaris, the audiobook. It's been released for about a month. We do pretty well on the paperback copies of it. But again, it's non-denominational and it's just about inspiration, motivation, and there's actually a couple of life hacks in it. Think about getting the audiobook. If you took part in this seminar, you get a discount. You can actually get the paperback copy or the digital copy rather for an extreme discount. So make sure you grab yourself a copy. Final call to action should be let me see, what should I do for a final call to action? Just live your best life. Really, really. Just go out there and live your best life. Sometimes that is the mantra that I tell myself. And we all go through it. We all go through times where we find that the negativity is unbearable, the toxic relationships are unbearable, the toxic environments are unbearable, the Debbie Downers are unbearable. But as I've said often, you've got through every freaking problem to date in your life. You can get through this if you put your mind to it. You just have to decide that I want different. And that's how you change that energy. There's somebody right now trying to figure out, well, I'm gonna pull out the plug to the antenna. You can't. Stop. Don't do it. Because you can't do it. You know? And whenever you feel that negativity creeping in, whenever you feel those things that are holding you back, decide that you're switching the narrative. We often need to do that from time to time. Just switch the narrative. We do it with with those that are close to our tribe. We do it with our family. You know, we do it with our jobs. We just decide, hey, I'm going to switch the narrative. I don't like this anymore. I'm going to set a couple of boundaries. I'm going to do this. Switch the narrative for yourself. Begin by switching the narrative for yourself. It makes life just that much simpler. Now you got something to focus on. If you're finding yourself surrounded with negative thoughts and negative energy, work on the solution. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. And believe it or not, you're the best candidate for figuring out how because these are your situations. This is what you asked for. So, what you need to do is you need to ask for something different. You need to move forward into a new life, the life that you deserve, the life that was promised to you. Not all this struggling, not all this headaches. Trust me, you'll feel a lot better. With that being said, I want to thank you guys for joining me right here for the Power Hour. Um, Stay tuned. We have another one coming up next week, and we have the big one. I believe it's the first Saturday in April. Um, just follow the positive breadcrumb trail. It's kind of fun. Kind of fun. You know. With that being said, Minister Robinson, Church of Real Talk coaching services, and the reason why I do this, not only am I grateful for you, but honestly, love you guys. Have a great day and reach out to me if there is anything that I can be of assistance with.